Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, I share cards I made using this beautiful Creative Expressions butterfly sketch stamp set. The butterfly image is about 3¼ by 5, very large. And so today, my first card is going to be a mini slimline card. I prepped my panel for heat embossing and will stamp using Versamark ink. I will stamp the image 2 times and will heat emboss it with clear embossing powder. So you can't see it yet, but I am using some picked raspberry distress oxide ink on this panel, just taking my brush and pouncing the ink on, and then bringing in some peacock feathers, doing the same. These two mix very well together to make a blue. I am loving this look. And now I'm bringing in some seedless preserves. And can you see the butterfly coming to life? It is awesome. So bringing in some peeled paint, and the butterfly, like I said, it keeps coming to life. And now I'm bringing my peacock feathers back and applying that liberally all over the butterfly image. And voila, it pops. So I'm taking a paper towel here to wipe the oxide ink off of the top of the butterfly. And then I liberally spritz the panel with water, which is why I use some Bristol smooth watercolor paper. And once you do that, the inks start to meld or gel together and create this beautiful ethereal effect. And that's exactly what I was going for here. So I set that aside, my panel aside to dry, and then I trimmed it down to slimline size and matted it onto a piece of purple cardstock and left about a 1/8 inch border around it, and then mounted that to a card base. So I wanted to add some sparkle and shine. I'm bringing in my Nuvo crystal glitter drops in white Nuvo, which has a sparkle or glittery effect. And I am literally just tracing the lines of my sketch butterfly with the white blizzard, and it is adding so much sparkle. And hopefully you'll be able to see this on camera, but this is beautiful. And then I finish it off with some white blizzard drops throughout the panel and think I need a little more, so I bring in some Purple Rain glitter drops as well. I use that same purple cardstock to stamp my sentiment off camera and use white embossing powder on that sentiment and will adhere it to the top of my card. I will show more close-ups at the end of this video. My second card will be a 5 by 7 card, and I have already cut a 5 by 7 panel using Hero Hues plum cardstock and then cut it on an angle. And you can see that I placed it in my MISTI, prepped it for heat embossing, and am stamping my large butterfly image and with Versamark ink. I placed my patterned paper that's already cut 5 by 7 in the MISTI, Prepped that for heat embossing and placed my butterfly, stamped my butterfly image onto that panel, and am applying some gold embossing ink to both pieces. For this technique, it's important that both of your panels be the exact same size so that when you place them in the MISTI, you are stamping in the exact same spot. This pattern paper is from Pink Paisley. I have featured this paper pad and paper in previous card videos. We'll try and remember to link those. And am just heat embossing with Hero Arts gold embossing powder. And so here, as I'm heat embossing, I see that, I didn't apply my Versamark ink very well. And I thought, well, I can work with that. So I'm moving on with the card and placed my happy birthday tag underneath the plum cardstock and positioned that where I wanted it and affixed my top panel to my card. So as I'm going along, I decide I don't like the plum with this cardstock. And of course, I had noticed that my embossed image, butterfly image, was missing some lines. So I decided to just start over on that top panel. My butterfly was still in the MISTI. So I didn't have to worry about positioning, and so stamped it on a white cardstock instead. Like this much better, and didn't want to do any coloring. I had invested a lot of time into this card already, so I took out my Distress Oxide Peacock feathers, added color all around the butterfly image. Love it. Used a towel to wipe the oxide off of the embossing powder, the top of the embossing powder, and I'm loving this. I took another piece of pattern paper, and the color wasn't quite peacock featherish, so I wanted, of course, that to match everything else, and so applied some peacock feathers to the outside, dried up the or sped up the drying with my heat tool, and then am applying my panel to this cardstock, and then we'll trim off the edges. And I left about a 1/8 inch border around this card panel. So here I'm mounting the panel to a 5x7 card base, and love the way this turned out. Love the colors a lot. I like the white top panel a lot better because it keeps the card very bright. And so here I'm bringing in my fuchsia, hydrangea, stickles or liquid pearls, and applied 3 dots to the front, let that dry. Then I'm working on the inside because this is a birthday card for a friend and wanted to definitely tie in the inside to the outer portion, and using some leftover pattern paper. To do that, I die cut one of the large floral flowers from some of the pattern paper, and I'm using that as well to decorate the inside. Now let's take a closer look at both cards. Look at the sparkle and shine on this butterfly. I absolutely love it. I hope you liked today's video and will give me a thumbs up, and if not already subscribed, will subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, good day, friends.